10 years ago, if you would have told me that I would have taste creators and I'd be working with artists, I would have looked at you like you're fucking out of your mind. But I'm the crazy person that said, fuck real estate. I'm going to work with artists. I don't know
Well,
why
one
that.
thing and something I've noticed like throughout the what you really value is passion about art and being in this industry. Like no one is in this. I mean, there are a lot of people who are in this just because they think it's cool or glamorous or whatever, but the people who have like longevity in this industry are the people who can't do anything else. Are the people who look at it and like this is it. This is the only thing that I can see myself doing.
Yeah.
Um, and so surrounding yourself with community like that is something that's really important. Something that I've noticed throughout your kind of story that you've weaved for us today, is that networking is like a really big part of what kind of put you ahead when you came back to music. Can you
Yes.
talk about what networking in the music industry space looks like right now? And tips and tricks. I know during COVID it's difficult, but like any tips and tricks for when we are back in person networking, or even if you have online tips and tricks, that's helpful too. What how do you approach it? What are some of the best practices there?
Interesting. So I don't even like to call it networking. Like, I don't make it a thing. It's something that happens very naturally, and I look at it as just conversations. you know, I what I will say is, if networking is not about you, it's about the person that you're networking with. So, for instance, it's like it's not about what can you do for me, it's what can I do for you. If you lead with that, like I didn't go to Wendy Day and say, hey, like, help me build my website until Wendy and I built a rapport. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you have to, you can't go into something immediately asking somebody for some shit unless they want you to. Like, yeah, come to me and ask me about our services and stuff. I have a company that offers services. But you have to be genuine about it, and you have to plant seeds. So you can't expect, just because you reached out to somebody today, you can't expect for that to blossom by tomorrow. It has to grow over time. And a suggestion, like, and I do this all the time. If I have two suggestions, right? So number one thing is that I do all the time is like, if I think you're dope, if I find you on Twitter or Instagram or whatever, I'm gonna slide in your DM and just let you know how dope you are. Like, I'm not expecting anything in return. I'm not even telling you. I'm not even introducing myself of like, I'm Breezy and I run a company called Taste Creators and we do this and we do that. No, I saw this and this shit is fucking dope. And I'm following you. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then from there, that person usually really appreciates that. And they either follow me back or they at least look into what I'm doing or we start having a conversation. Like, but I didn't go into that with any intentions other than to let you know how dope you are. Genuinely, you know? Those relationships often really blossom into something over time. So networking is very like do it. I would say do it. Don't do it with intention. Like, just talk to people. Another thing that I do, I always like networking when it's not with a total stranger. So, like, for instance, say you're trying to reach a music plug, right? Like, there's people who I've wanted to reach out to, but held off on reaching out to them. And then a year later, one of their friends told them that they should reach out to me. Make sense? Like, with some people, it's better to just keep doing what you're doing, keep putting yourself out there, and like let somebody else tell that person about you. You don't have to reach out to them. You know what I'm saying? You just got to keep being awesome and keep networking and talking to people. But like, network sideways. You guys probably heard that before. You might have even said that before. Like, network sideways. Like, I don't need to go and reach the head of the label. I can go talk to the intern. You know what I'm saying? I could go talk to the people that are working hands-on with the artists. And if I do good work and they like me, they're gonna talk about me. So networking to me also is like to help get that word of mouth going. You know, like I I didn't reach out to you guys. You guys reached out to me, but I'm familiar with you already. And the funny thing was, I was going to eventually reach out to you guys. I already caught wind of you and thought, like, do something with those guys. I just got a lot going on right now. And then, boom, you slid in my DMs. You know what I'm saying? But even when you hit me in my DM, there was a way you went about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you introduced yourself and you did something for me. You know what I'm saying? Like the first time you reached out to me, it wasn't like, yo, Breeze, check out my latest video. You know what I'm saying? It was like, hey, would love to interview you. And I'm not saying you got to kiss people's asses. That's far from what I'm saying. Please do not take that from anything that I'm saying. But it is something about the approach, you know? And you don't approach this the same, like, you don't approach everyone in the same way. I like to study people. Like, I'll follow you and watch you for 6 months before I reach out to you. I like to see how you are. I like to see, you know, maybe, like, you can learn a lot from people just from following them on Twitter. They'll tweet shit that they don't like. You know what I'm saying? They'll be like, I hate when people reach out to me like this. And you're like, bet. Glad I didn't reach out to you yet because I was going to do that. You know? Like, it's be a genuine person. That's really what networking is. Be a genuine person. Always be helpful. Always be professional. Like, don't reach out to people like, yo, bro, let's work. It's like, first off, I'm not bro. And second, what would you like to work on, sir?
Yeah.
You know, like, and don't reach out to people for help if you've never researched them. Like, please, God, don't. You're going to fuck yourself that way.